So as you guys know, I fell in love with Delta Force when it first came out. I made a video on the game and I called it the Battlefield Killer, and I was really excited about what it could really become, but like all free-to-play games, it kind of just died as fast as it came. It really takes a lot to make free-to-play games for these little studios and stuff like that, and it can kind of kill the player base because there's not really that many updates and stuff coming from the companies because, again, they're just jam-packed with trying to make the game, so now they're taking a little bit of time to try and get their bearings back. I myself even kind of got bored of the game because it just didn't really have anything to work towards. All it did for me was kind of make me more excited for the next Battlefield game coming out because really, I'm growing tired of the whole run-and-gun shooter games anyway. I've been playing them for the last 20 years of my life, and I feel like every game I play has kind of turned into that. Siege has turned into a run-and-gun thing for quick match. Call of Duty has always been a run-and-gun kind of shooter. I feel like VR shooters are the only thing that's been my saving grace recently, and, I just kind of growing bored of it. But when I seen that Delta Force released this DLC called Black Hawk Down, I nearly exploded a country for imaginary weapons of mass destruction that weren't real. I shouldn't have said that. In all seriousness, though, I really got excited because it looked good. If you've ever watched the movie Black Hawk Down or read any of the stories, you kind of immediately associate this with something good. So I went into this with a pretty blown up head. This DLC is nothing like Delta Force is traditionally. Delta Force to me is just like Diet Battlefield 2042. It does have some better maps than that game does and pretty good gun customization, but really, it's just Battlefield 2042 with a weird anti-cheat. Let me add that in with a really weird anti-cheat. Please don't make me download that shit anymore. Delta Force Black Hawk Down is more like Squad, like Insurgency, like Hell Let Loose. It's more of like an intense experience, or it's supposed to be. I didn't know anything about it really going in other than it looked really pretty. So when I found this out, I was like, oh, it's not the same thing I've been playing for like the last 80 years. It's actually going to be something I'm going to enjoy. I was also really blown away by how pretty this game is. I think it's one of the prettiest games I've played on this PC, and it was completely cooking my PC, by the way. This looks badass, though. Holy shit, dude. These graphics look great. It was lagging my stream out, and it's kind of a buggy mess right now when it comes to the whole launching it. It kind of crashes everything when it launches. It completely overloaded my PC, but again, I think that's more of a me issue because I stream on 2 platforms while I'm playing. But it does do this weird thing. When you launch the game, like transitioning over from the normal Delta Force to the Black Hawk Down DLC, it's really annoying because basically you're taken into this menu that allows you to pick your guns and what character you pick, and then what mission you do. Then when you hit launch to join the mission, it opens a completely different application, or seems like, to run Black Hawk Down in. Now I understand the games look different. It may run off a different engine. I don't even know that much about it. I'm not very software side. But why don't they just have you launch it completely separately or download it separately and have it in a completely separate game? Why do they have to make it a DLC that's connected that I have to launch through Delta Force instead of just making Black Hawk Down its own thing? At least launch it separately, because having to launch multiple programs is a bit of a struggle. Again, me having a Ryzen 7600, I do have 32 gigs of RAM, so it's not a RAM issue, but CPU is kind of bottlenecked with my GPU, and then my GPU, again, is encoding a stream while my CPU is encoding a stream. It's a little damn strenuous on my computer. Other than that, the gameplay is super addicting to me. If you enjoy games like Ready or Not, Body Cam, Squad, Insurgency, all the ones I listed before, it's kind of like that in multiple ways. You're pretty much going in and raiding these buildings and having a bunch of AI teammates drop in and kind of help you while you do it. You have to tie up bystanders for some reason, which I guess is kind of like Ready or Not. They do the same thing in it where you're kind of just detaining them for their safety, but to hell with being tied up around a bunch of gunfighting, dog. If I was in this scenario, I'd be like, hell no, take the zip ties and hand me a gun. Also, a really cool thing that I like is the enemies can kind of hide amongst the bystanders. They won't immediately attack you when you walk in a room. You kind of have to clear room. It's like close quarters combat, like something like Tactical Assault VR. It's really neat to me that they blend in and maybe they'll pop up with a gun. They'll hide behind the actual civilians. Because really, in real life, it's like that. But in all honesty, it's pretty much an obstacle. It's basically, don't misclick, or Shane Gillis's Uncle Danny will be no more. Like, you can shoot the AI a good amount. You can shoot the civilians for a really long time, and you won't get kicked. The enemy AI is actually really cool. Now, I did say the enemy AI was really cool about hiding behind things and popping out when you're not expecting it, but the coolness ends when you get into a building or outside of a building or in combat with them, or in any situation pretty much other than being in a closed room that they're already spawned into, because they kind of just ignore all training every army has ever trained, and they just funnel into a big horde of people with AKs. They pretty much run in all directions. I think they spawn way too many of them in one time, and then they all just shoot at you directly. Like they're not even popping shots at any of the other people, like your AI teammates, nothing. It's just all at you and whoever you loaded in with that's a real player as well. I don't think I've seen AI this bad in a game like this in a really, really long time. The AI could have been done better, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. It's something that's fixable. It's just tough. It's better when you're entering a building or transitioning over to a new area. They kind of do well. Again, if they're already spawned in where they need to be, they do well. But if you're having to have them traverse into a building, if you're having them walk around a building with you, trying to find you, it just doesn't work. I don't know if their sense of direction's horrible. They'll be like walking backwards and then spin around and shoot you, and it's really weird how they operate. I can't explain it. It's not even a thing of like, oh, realism. It looks goofy and stupid. Like they will walk into boxes and like just walk into a wall. Like they don't do anything remotely human. It kind of just melts the AI's brains when they have to go anywhere. But again, it works in some areas. Speaking of traversal, I guess I'll move on to the maps from this. Other than the AI being goofy, these maps are really good. They're beautiful, as I said before, and they play really, really well. I like how much thought they put into the cover in the game. I feel like it's really thought out and it's really cool because you have to really think where you're going to take cover before you do it, because they have snipers posted on the rooftops. Maybe they'll have like enemies funneling in from one area, but they'll have a sniper out in another area. So you kind of have to balance between, oh, I need to take out these guys first and then move on to the sniper. I need to take out the sniper first, then I'm safe from this direction and I'm good to fight these. Like you have to really kind of think about it instead of just, oh, let me get behind this wall and just, oh, I'm good, I'm safe. It's more thought into it where you need to like plan more. I feel like it's closer to real combat. Not that I've ever been in it, but I feel like that's kind of how real combat would go, is you're not just fighting one horde of people in one direction. You're kind of having to watch so many more elements of up, down. Like, you know, it's not just straight combat. It's more of like there's levels to it. There's level changing. There's snipers. There's rocketeers. There's so many different things coming from so many different directions that you have to be way more careful in the game. I just hope with a few patches they can fix the optimization of the game, because like I said, when traversing through areas like this, it does get a little crazy. They spawn a little too many AIs, and I think that's something they could fix, and they'd probably make the AIs work a little bit better where they could actually think for their own brain, because it just kind of overloads them for no reason. And I feel like that's why they kind of just horde up together and run in the same direction, because they don't know how to take any other direction right now. The optimization may be my PC, because it is getting kind of older. I do have an RTX 3070 and a Ryzen 7600, but I still think it's a pretty rough time. Now, you could turn your game settings down, and I turned mine down to medium, but the game's so beautiful that you really don't want to, and it really doesn't run any better when you put it on medium. So you might as well just run it on ultra and have it crash a little sooner than it would run it at medium, and it look the same, run the same, and maybe not crash as much. These days, optimization's pretty hard for games. Like, I know GTA 5 Enhanced Edition just come out, and it's kind of having a little bit of a tough time with the ray tracing. There's a lot of stuff going wrong with that game. Marvel Rivals is kind of poorly optimized. There's a bunch of poorly optimized games, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know if it's my PC or optimization these days, so I can't really put too bad of a flag on it, but it could be worked upon. Something I really would have liked to seen was more vehicular fights. I feel like they could have done a mission in this game where it's like us traveling down some dirt roads and getting ambushed along our route, or again being up in a helicopter and shooting down. And there may actually be one of these levels. I haven't played all the levels, obviously, because my PC can hardly handle it half the time, but I kind of just think it would be really cool having to stop and take firefights if you're in the Humvee, or again, I don't know. I guess that would kind of turn it away from the whole Black Hawk Down scheme, so that kind of cuts that narrative in half. Never mind. I'll just cut all this shit out or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it in. I really like this game forces you to kind of play as a team. It's got a really team-based system where you have 4 operators to pick from. They all have their own role: support, assault, medic, and one other I can't think of. It sucks when you don't get the role you want, but it also makes the mission play smoother, and you still need to play your part. They're not hard either. It's really just common sense. It's like if you're support, give your buddies some ammo. If you're medic, pick up everybody, save everybody, heal everybody. If you're assault, just run and gun. I mean, it's kind of easy. You can play this by yourself too, where if you want to pick and roll and try and like get used to it before you join other people, you can. Or you could just play with one other person like I did the entire time, because I didn't really know that we needed a full team, I'm going to be honest. That kind of makes it really hard. This game is difficult and it really isn't forgiving. The AI being stupid as a box of rocks can kind of give you forgiveness, but it really doesn't do much. I played alone and I died really quick, really fast, in a horrible way, and I guess I was taking it a little too fast because I was like, I was thinking it was Delta Force. Then when I played with another player, it went a little bit better, but we still were kind of getting cooked. If it wasn't for the AI being a little dumb, we probably would have died. Something that could really bring the fun out in this game instead of it being so gritty and kind of hard, like something like Squad would be some air support. Kind of like the element of like Helldivers, where it has air support and all that stuff you can call in, but maybe not as spammy, because I know Helldivers is more of like a fun time instead of a hard time. Maybe just give us the privilege of calling like one strafing run or an A-10 Warthog just every 10 to 15 minutes, just once per mission, something like that. Just whatever gap makes sense for the length of the mission. I feel like it would add some fun into it, where it would give your team more of like a military experience where it's like closer to real life. Because I feel like without air support, we would not be going as good as we are in every war we've ever participated in. Even stuff like mortars, howitzers, anything of that sort would just add a new element to the game that I think would be so fun. And I feel like building up off of this would be amazing. I don't even like Delta Force as much as I like the DLC that they made out of the game. So I wish they would kind of spin off and do their own thing with this instead of worrying about Delta Force as much. They need to make an entire separate little area of their company to be working Black Hawk Down area. And then, I don't know, name it Black Air Forces. I really like playing this, and I really want to play it again. I may not be able to for a while because, it kind of cooks my entire damn PC. But hopefully I can get a hold of a streaming PC. I'm going to try and, do that. Within this week, I'll actually probably be monetized. So we're closing in on our goal, about 3,000 watch hours. So if you guys want to show some love and support, please go watch my other videos. Like, I have multiple videos that are like 6 hours long, 12 hours long. I just need watch time, please. You don't even have to watch them. You can literally put them on in the background if you want to help me, though, for real. I'm really hoping to use the money I make to buy a streaming PC of some sort so I can play more games that are like more taxing on my PC. I don't really know how it all works, so I may not even be getting monetized. I may just be getting memberships, but I think I'm getting monetization. So hopefully these videos keep on doing good, and I hope you guys keep on liking them. Anyways, I love you guys so much. That's really it. Sorry for such a short video. I didn't really have anything planned. I kind of just threw this together in like 30 minutes. I don't know. I just remembered me playing the game, and I just started rambling on about the game. So if it's poorly made, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Anyways, that's it. Have a blessed day, and bye.